Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 25. A stormy is brewing. Nell is being very dramatic. She's putting on for the cameras, yelling at her son about that money he owes them. The older brother, he also has grievances with his brother. He too has had to fire him for whatever reason. He worked with him. I forget what the oldest son does, but and see that's Nell's son from a previous relationship, because they each came in with their own child, and that's her oldest. And he's had to fire that little brother for whatever reason, and so he has his own issues with him. Nell brings up the fact that Chris spoils the kids. He kind of coddles them, where she's bad cop most times, and he gets to be the good cop. Alexis, she feels like the black sheep. She's very, woe is me. You all hate me. I'm the odd one out. It's always been you guys, everybody against me. She's exhausting. She's exhausting. So much so she done went over there and married her a white man. She's that girl. She said she had to save up her money for a hoopty, while her siblings were driving BMWs and Mercedes and Lexus and all of that. And she feels like she was treated differently. They beg to differ. They're all looking at her like, girl, you're crazy. See, this is why we don't be inviting your ass to stuff now. This is why. And Alexis is like, this is why I don't come around. Because y'all are in denial and y'all want to lie about how y'all treated me. We don't know what the truth is because we weren't there. So, I mean, I don't know whose side to take. She gets so upset. She cussed everybody out and then storm out, of course. Chris goes after her, to see if he can calm her down, because that's the child he came into the relationship with. And so that's his oldest daughter. She say he ain't been around. He ain't never been around. She wasn't raised with them people. She wasn't raised around them. Again, I don't know. Chris gets fed up. He gets angry, and tells her to just go on. Because if you gonna lie, then just go head on, because he feels like she's victimizing herself. And it kind of feels like that. It kind of feels like she's always the victim. Stormi and Courtney, they are out on the lanai, having a glass of wine. And she shares, how she's been feeling about Kiki and Tiffany and their situation. I don't know what happened. She wants to have them over to the house. The guest house, that is, not in the main house. So she wants to have them over so that they can clear the air. She can mediate that conversation. She also shares how her conversation went with the COO. She's just in a new space, as CEO. Before, she was kind of timid about firing people. She wasn't really on her boss, and by boss, I mean, like, she probably wasn't very stern. She probably didn't articulate very well what the needs, what the wants were, what the expectations were. And so it kind of, rolled over into the everyday, the ins and outs of her business, and trusting the wrong people, all of that. And so now it's no more. It's no more. Now she's turned a new leaf, and now she's a lot more careful. Courtney, he shares that, oh yeah, by the way, I hired Junior back. I hired him back. And she looking like, didn't we just say we was getting the people out that don't need to be around, and you just done hired? But you know what? She says she's going to trust his judgment, and she's going to let him have that. He in charge over there at the warehouse anyway, and so do you. Listen, you just better make sure Junior on his P's and his Q's. Martell, He moving in the middle of the night. He finally out of them people's house. He says he got to go get eye surgery. He gonna get the bags removed under his eyes. I'm like, Martell, just get you a skincare regimen going. Get you some under eye cream going. Like, you could have got rid of that naturally instead of going in there and letting them people do something to your face. Anyway, he doing something to his face in the coming days. But anyway, he's moving in. He calls Chris, to boast about being out of them people's house. Chris is like, it's about time. Finally, them people can sell their house. Finally. Martell brings up his conversation with Nell and that he spoke to her. And Chris is like, yeah, I know you spoke to her. You don't be talking to my wife like that. And Martell kind of laughs it off, but Chris is like, seriously though, yeah, we got to have a conversation face to face about it. I got to see you about that, so we gonna meet up. I'll see you soon. Moving on. Melody, she is at her. I think she's home. Yeah, she's at home. She got some orders that she needs to get out. Her best friend Brittany comes over. Brittany is her college roommate. Mel is a completely different person with Brittany. That's her friend. Like, you can tell when people are friends and when this is just, we co-workers and we film together, because we co-workers. No, that's her homegirl. You can tell because Melody completely lets her hair down around her. She did. It was different. It was a breath of fresh air. It was like, look, that's the real Mel. That's Melody with her, with her around the way girl. But anyway, she feels a way about Brittany not being at the name change ceremony. But Brittany looking like, girl, I told you I wasn't coming. Like, why are we doing this? I told you that my niece was turning 16. I couldn't miss the sweet 16. Now we talked about this. Mel's like, I know we did, but for the sake of camera, with the cameras here, I gotta do something. I gotta create some type of situation. And so, yeah, girl, I'm gonna bring this up again. Even though we rehashed it. She gonna make it seem like she was just so offended. Because the girl helped her leading up to it and everything. Mel, girl, please. She didn't have to be there. That lady like, girl, I ain't had to be there for that. You know how I feel about that man. Because she want him to remain nameless, honestly. She want him to remain nameless. Mel says that she can help her find a new man. And the lady like, well, not here. Not here in Huntsville. We ain't gonna look. Mel's like, well, yeah, I'm thinking this vagina is international. And so, okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Nell, she's at work. She gets a visit from Chris. Chris said he just finished doing a closing, but they have to talk. So he sits down and they talk about Alexis and the fact that she continues to hold her hoopty over everybody's head. Because after that, she was given some money, a lump sum of money, and she went and bought a new car. And so what are you complaining about, girl? What are you complaining about? Now, basically, done had enough. She done had it up to here with Alexis. Alexis is just giving her a hard time all the time, and she's tired of it. When it comes to Nell being the difficult parent, Chris explains it, they've all explained it to Chris where, they come to her for help or needing help. And she always has a lecture behind it. She always got to fuss about it. She always got to make it seem like they have like she's never made mistakes in the world. Like they should have known not to get themselves in this situation. Whatever it is, she ain't being real nurturing when her kids come to her in trouble. And so that's why they don't come to you. And instead of fixing that, she's still making it seem like well, I'm tired. Well, I do it all. Girl, if your kids are in trouble, it's best not to meet them with more bullshit, with more static. That ain't what they came for. Like, they know they're in trouble. They know that that a mistake has been made or whatever, that they made a wrong choice, whatever it is that caused them to be calling your line, asking you for whatever amount of money it is, or a place to stay, or help buying a car, whatever. Job, they done lost their job, whatever it is. Why you got to be fussing? Like, especially when they're adult kids, because they're adults at this point. That's why they go over there and ask Chris, because Chris is going to listen, and he's going to help find a solution. And he's going to help without reprimanding you or making you feel terrible about needing help. Girl, just fix that now. Just fix that. But she says she's not stressing. She's not stressing over the kids. She said the kids be paying Chris back. They'll never pay her back. And see, why you expecting to get paid back? You know, like, she one of them parents. She probably put them out when they was 18. Expected them to be gone at 18. That's what it's giving. Like, you don't pull yourself up. Like, maybe she had to struggle in life and she's expecting her kids to do the same. I don't know. We don't know enough about them, but Nell, girl, please, girl. Anyway, Stormi, she has Kiki and Tiffany over. Kiki is there. Kiki having a flash. She say the methadone causes her to have the sweats, and she says she likes taking the methadone though. You know, it's helpful. It's a part of her treatment plan, and so that's the reason for she got to give us, I guess, a disclaimer as to why she's sweating. They chat a little bit about she and Tisha and their dynamic. Kiki is basically in the same place as Tisha. They're done. They're done. They're done. Tiffany and Kiki, though, on the other hand, Tiffany, with all of these interviews, well, this interview in particular with Carlos King, where she was very elitist, very condescending. It was very unnecessary. Unnecessary. It's clear that Tiffany feels like she is way better than Kiki. She feels like she's in a better position. She feels like she's a better woman, a better mother. She feels like she's better than her. She really does. And Tiffany shows up at the door with the baby in tow. She thinks she's slick bringing the baby. She only bringing that baby so that Kiki won't jump on her ass. Because Kiki is liable. And so if I have my baby with me, that's a shield of protection for sure for Tiffany. So I guess she's smart. She came through the door. Kiki was like, "Oh, there's a baby." Yeah, girl, she got the baby. Anyway, to be continued, of course. We'll pick it up. We'll pick it up where we left off. These reviews for Huntsville be getting shorter and shorter. Anyway, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.